Hudson is as close as it looks. And the first time
So another view of the Hudson. Right next to it is a Mark 8 Spitfire. That's from Temora. That Spitfire never actually flew in active service. In Australia, that was in a crate until the end of the war. So, and that's so that never actually had an Australian colour scheme such as it's displayed at the moment. It was never in the squadron with as the grey nurse. The war ended before this aircraft was needed. An old guy told me once that at the end of the war you could buy a Spitfire in a crate for £50. So Temora the Spitfire's based at. Now there's a Hurricane. So the Royal Australian Air Force didn't fly Hurricanes en masse. We had one Hurricane that was used for assessment. Its serial number was V7476. So only one Mark 1 Hurricane with a VIII tropical air filter. The roulettes fly a Pilatus PC-9. It's a turboprop aircraft. This Hurricane doesn't have a VIII tropical air filter, so it's not the same looking as the one we actually did get. And there's a P40. I believe that's, I mean, I could be wrong. I think it's a P40E. In the background there you can see a de Havilland Caribou.
Yeah, but what I mean is like...
Behind that is an Orion, and there's a Neptune. The Neptune was the sub-hunter before the Royal Australian Air Force moved on to the Orions. The Orions, they got them, I think, from the late 70s. Now, that's a F8 Meteor. It's not actually, this one was never actually in Royal Australian Air Force service. It's painted up as George Hale's aircraft, A77851 Hailstorm it's called, because he shot down a MiG. I believe it's the only Royal Australian Air Force pilot in Korea to shoot down a MiG with a Meteor. So it was quite an achievement. The South Australian Air Museum has the actual nose from the real aircraft. That's ex-R.A.A.F. one. All ours were ex-R.A.A.F, but they came into Australian service. So unfortunately I can't zoom with this stupid phone. So I can't make the aircraft any bigger. But we'll see if we can walk around, looks like you can get close to the Caribou. Some of these aircraft will be flying soon. Yesterday at my friend's place, we could see the Hurricane and the Spitfire flying together, and then a bit later on one of the Mustangs was up in the air.